I got to witness something last night that was pretty incredible. But let me give you a little bit of a backstory. Okay? So my cousin, David Craig Starkey, is the general director for the Indianapolis Opera Company. And I was speaking to him a few weeks ago, and we talk on a semi-regular basis about just family and stuff. And he was telling me that something interesting was happening with their production that they were doing. They were doing Carousel. And the original idea was that they were going to do it outside at the Indianapolis Zoo on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. 3 different productions of it, and everything was staged. They'd been practicing and rehearsing. They started looking at the weather and realizing that they were going to have some troubles with that. That it was going to be cold, potential for rain, and for the singers and for the instruments, that was going to be a very bad thing, and for the audience as well, of course. So they made the decision to do something that's like never done. Okay? Now, taking it from 3 days to 1, that's rough, but okay. But they've actually made the decision with like 2 weeks to go that they were going to change venues. Okay? That's crazy in the world of a theater and all that work. And so they were able to get into the Palladium in Carmel, which is something where they had wanted to get into, had never had the opportunity before, and all of a sudden they could, but it was only going to be on one night. So they had 2 weeks of rehearsal in a way that it was going to be set up for that. And then last night when we were there, got to hear a little bit of this beforehand and a little bit of talking to them afterwards, but they got into the Palladium at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning for a 7 o'clock show. That was their first time on that stage. So moving everything in, making sure all the choreography and blocking was going to work, checking on the acoustics, doing all the tech work and the lighting and everything else from 8 o'clock in the morning till a 7 o'clock show that night. Okay? And right beforehand, David comes out and welcomes the audience, and he says, oh, and just so you know, I've had a little illness run through the company, and so one of their dancers is going to be replaced by our choreographer, and a member of the chorus is being replaced too because they're sick. And then we also found out afterwards that there were a couple people with laryngitis. So they had a change of venue that they barely got to be in, changing of casting, works through all that, and still put on an incredible show. So it is possible when you're having struggles, when things aren't going your way, when you've got to circle around and try new things, it can be done, and it can be done successfully.